Boston, 2023. Laura Turner, a 32-year-old doctor, gazed out the window of her office at the Boston hospital, lost in thought. The big city life, with its predictable routines and frenetic pace, no longer satisfied her adventurous spirit. Since she was young, Laura had dreamed of making a difference in places where her help was truly needed. That morning, an email notification on her computer caught her attention. It was from Doctors Without Borders, confirming her acceptance for a volunteer mission in the Amazon. Laura read the message with a growing smile. She had always wanted to work in remote locations, and this was the perfect opportunity to escape the monotony of her current life. Manaus Airport, Brazil. A week later, Laura landed in the humid heat of Manaus. The contrast with Boston's climate was evident, but she was prepared. She carried suitcases full of medical supplies, books, and a heart full of hope. At the airport, she was greeted by Dr. Manuel Ferreira, a middle-aged man with a kind expression, and Camila, a young local nurse. Both held a sign with her name on it. "Welcome to the Amazon, Dr. Turner," said Dr. Ferreira, shaking her hand with a warm smile. "I hope your journey was smooth." "Thank you, Dr. Ferreira. Please, call me Laura." "I'm very excited to get started," replied Laura, returning the smile. After a long journey by car and boat upriver, Laura arrived at the remote clinic, a simple but well-organized building in the heart of the jungle. The surrounding nature was lush, with a myriad of plants and animals she had never seen before. "This will be your home for the next few months," said Camila, showing her around. "I hope you like it." Laura nodded, impressed by the beauty and serenity of the place. "It's wonderful. I can't wait to begin." That afternoon, she was introduced to Tiago, a 28-year-old indigenous man with a confident posture and piercing eyes. He worked as a translator and guide for the medical team, helping navigate the complex cultural dynamics of the region. "Tiago, this is Laura, our new volunteer doctor," said Dr. Ferreira, introducing them. "Welcome, Laura," said Tiago, shaking her hand firmly. "I hope you find what you're looking for here in the jungle." The chemistry between them was immediate, but both kept a respectful distance, aware of their cultural differences and responsibilities. Laura began her work at the clinic the next day, attending to local patients who came from distant villages. She quickly realized the enormity of the medical needs and the limitations of the available resources. During a consultation, a mother brought her son with a severe infection. Laura treated the boy with what she had available, but knew that access to medication was a constant problem. "We have to do the best with what we have," said Dr. Ferreira, observing her. "The situation is difficult, but the community depends on us." Tiago invited Laura to visit his tribe over the weekend to better understand the local culture and strengthen trust between the medical team and the indigenous people. She accepted enthusiastically, eager to learn and connect with the community. The journey to the village was an eye-opening experience. Laura saw firsthand the devastating impact of deforestation and illegal miners. Tiago explained that these issues threaten not only the environment but also the health and well-being of his tribe. "We need to protect our land," said Tiago with determination. "And you, Laura, can help us do that." Tiago's tribe welcomed her with curiosity and hospitality. Laura was introduced to the tribal chief, who thanked her for her presence and willingness to help. "We are grateful for your help, Dr. Laura," said the chief. "We hope that together we can protect and care for our people." Laura was moved by the warm reception. "I'm here to learn as much as to help. I hope I can make a difference." At the end of the day, Laura and Tiago talked by the river, sharing stories and dreams. Laura told Tiago about her life in Boston and her desire to find a greater purpose. Tiago, in turn, spoke about the importance of preserving his culture and protecting his land. "I never thought I would find such a clear purpose in my life," said Laura, looking at the horizon. "Here, I feel like I can really make a difference." "You already are," replied Tiago with a smile. "And I will be here to help you." Despite their cultural differences, Laura and Tiago began to realize that they shared a common vision. A world where health, culture, and the environment were protected and valued. And so, Laura Turner began her journey in the Amazon, driven by the desire to make a difference and the unexpected encounter with Tiago. The jungle, with its challenges and beauties, promised to transform their lives in ways they could not yet imagine. With the call of the wild, Laura Turner embarked on an adventure that would change not only her destiny but also the destiny of those she was determined to protect. The first challenges. Laura Turner, an American volunteer doctor, had arrived in the Amazon full of enthusiasm and determination. However, the first few weeks at the remote clinic were more challenging than she had imagined. The conditions were precarious, and the language barrier with the local inhabitants made the work even more complicated. The clinic, built with local wood and covered with palm leaves, was always crowded with patients. The shortage of medical supplies and the lack of modern resources were a constant challenge. Laura did the best she could with what she had, but she felt frustrated by not being able to do more. "Good morning, Dr. Laura," said Maria, one of the few assistants who spoke some English. "We have many patients today. The fever is spreading rapidly." "We'll do our best," Laura replied, trying to hide her exhaustion. "We need to identify the cause and treat the symptoms." It was during one of those chaotic days that Laura met Tiago, a young indigenous man from the local tribe. Tiago spoke fluent Portuguese and had a deep knowledge of medicinal plants and natural remedies. He was respected in the village for his wisdom and healing skills. "Tiago, this is Dr. Laura," Maria introduced. "She needs help to better understand our culture and natural remedies." Tiago smiled warmly. "Welcome, Dr. Laura. I'm happy to help. Our forest has much to offer if we know how to look." Laura felt immediate relief. "Thank you, Tiago. I really need to learn about the medicinal plants you use here." In the following days, Tiago became Laura's guide and mentor. He took her on several walks through the forest, showing her the plants and herbs used by the tribe to treat various ailments. "This is Andiroba," Tiago said, pointing to a towering tree. "Its oil is used to treat inflammations and repel insects." Laura wrote everything down in her notebook, fascinated by the wealth of knowledge Tiago possessed. "It's amazing how nature has solutions for so many problems," she commented. "Yes," Tiago agreed. "But we must respect it and understand that everything is connected." One day, Tiago invited Laura to visit his village. "I want you to see how we live and understand our challenges," he said. Upon arrival, Laura was greeted with curiosity and some suspicion by the villagers. She tried to communicate with smiles and gestures while Tiago translated her words. During the visit, Laura witnessed the devastation caused by illegal loggers. Centuries-old trees cut down, deforested areas, and disturbed wildlife. The sight left Laura shocked and saddened. "This is terrible," she said, her eyes welling up. "We have to do something to help." Tiago nodded, sharing her pain. "That's why we're here, Laura. We need allies who understand our struggle." Laura's determination to help the community began to earn the villagers' trust. She worked tirelessly at the clinic, used the knowledge Tiago had taught her, and showed respect for local traditions. One day, Akira, the tribe's spiritual leader, visited the clinic. He was an elderly man with piercing eyes that seemed to see beyond the physical. "You are Dr. Laura," Akira said in a calm and authoritative voice. "I've heard of your dedication." Laura bowed in respect. "It's an honor to meet you, Akira. I'm here to help in any way I can." Akira observed her for a moment before speaking again. "I see a pure spirit in you. Perhaps you are the ally we need to protect our community." These words touched Laura deeply, and she felt a growing responsibility. "I will do everything in my power to help you, Akira." With Akira's and the villagers' trust, Laura began working on a plan to protect the village from illegal loggers. She used her medical knowledge to treat the injured and sick, while Tiago taught her more about the plants that could be used for healing and repelling insects. "We need a multifaceted approach," Tiago said during a meeting with Laura and other tribal leaders. "We can use plants to create natural barriers and seek external support to protect our territory." Laura agreed. "We can also document the damage and try to attract international attention to our cause." If we show the world what's happening here, maybe we can get help. As the plan developed, the relationship between Laura and Tiago deepened. They spent hours together, discussing strategies and learning from each other. Laura felt a growing connection with Tiago, not just as a colleague but as someone who shared her passion and determination. "Tiago, I'm impressed with your wisdom and dedication," Laura said as they watched the sunset over the forest. "And I'm impressed with your courage and compassion," Tiago replied, looking into her eyes. "Together, we can make a difference." Laura smiled, feeling more hopeful than ever. "Yes, together, we can save this forest and protect its people." Thus, Laura began to find her place in the Amazon, facing initial challenges and gaining the trust of a community that desperately needed her help. With Tiago by her side, she was determined to fight for the forest and the people who inhabited it. Deep connection. Laura Turner, an American doctor, and Tiago, a young indigenous man, were working tirelessly to treat an epidemic of fever that plagued the Tupinamba tribe. The small makeshift clinic was full of patients, and the tension was palpable. However, amidst the chaos, an unexpected connection began to form between Laura and Tiago. "Hand me the thermometer, please," Laura asked, urgency in her voice. Tiago promptly handed her the instrument, watching closely as Laura checked the temperature of a feverish child. "The fever is high," Laura murmured, worried. "We need to bring it down quickly." Tiago nodded. "I'll prepare an herbal infusion. My grandmother used to use it to treat fevers." As Tiago prepared the mixture, Laura administered medications and comforted the sick. The day passed in a blur of activities, but Tiago's presence by her side brought an unexpected comfort. As night fell and the clinic quieted down, Laura and Tiago sat around a campfire, exhausted but satisfied with the progress they had made. "You are amazing," Tiago said, breaking the silence. "The way you take care of everyone. It's inspiring." Laura smiled, feeling warmth rise in her cheeks. "Thank you, Tiago. But you did an incredible job today too. We couldn't have done it without you." There was a moment of comfortable silence before Tiago spoke again, this time with a more serious tone. "You know, the epidemic brought back many painful memories." Laura looked at him, curious and empathetic. "What do you mean?" Tiago took a deep breath, his eyes fixed on the fire. "I lost my sister to illegal miners a few years ago. She was my best friend, my confidant. They came, destroyed our land, and she was one of the victims. Since then, I've dedicated my life to protecting my tribe and our forest." Laura felt a pang in her heart. "Tiago, I'm so sorry. I can't imagine the pain you must have felt." "It's a pain that never goes away," Tiago continued, his voice heavy with emotion. "But being here, helping my tribe, gives me a purpose. And meeting people like you gives me hope." Laura felt the need to share her own struggles. I recently went through a divorce. My ex-husband and I were very different, and in the end, we couldn't overcome our differences. When we separated, I felt an immense void. That's what brought me to the Amazon, seeking a new purpose." Tiago looked at her with compassion. "That must have been very hard. But know that you are making a huge difference here. Not just for the tribe, but for me as well." Laura smiled, her eyes meeting Tiago's. "Thank you, Tiago. Working here with you has been the most meaningful thing I've done in a long time." As the weeks passed, Laura and Tiago continued to work together, facing the challenges of the epidemic and caring for the sick. Each day seemed to deepen the connection between them. They became confidants, sharing stories, laughter, and even comfortable silences. One night, after an especially exhausting day, they found themselves once again around the campfire. The warmth of the flame seemed to mirror the growing warmth between them. "Laura," Tiago said, looking deeply into her eyes, "I feel that since you arrived, something has changed in me. I feel a connection with you that I've never felt before." Laura felt her heart race. "Tiago, I feel the same. I never imagined I would find something so special here." They moved closer, and in a tender gesture, Tiago held Laura's hand. The world around them seemed to disappear, leaving only the two of them, united by a deep and growing connection. In the following days, Laura and Tiago continued to work side by side, but now with an even greater understanding and affection for each other. They knew they had found something rare and precious in the Amazon jungle. "Together, we can face any challenge," Laura said, certain of her words. "Yes," Tiago agreed. "And we will. For our tribe, for the forest, and for us." As the epidemic began to subside, Laura and Tiago realized that their work together was just beginning. United by love and commitment to the community, they were ready to face the future, together. Thus, amidst the struggle for survival and healing, Laura and Tiago found something even more precious: each other. And with this connection, they were ready to face any challenge that lay ahead. The external threat. Life in the indigenous village where Laura Turner, the American doctor, had settled, followed its tranquil course. The days were filled with the tribe's routine, from hunting and gathering medicinal herbs to traditional rituals. Laura, who had initially been received with suspicion, began to integrate into the community, offering her medical knowledge and learning from the villagers' ancestral wisdom. One afternoon, while Laura was helping to prepare natural remedies with the tribe's healers, strange sounds began to echo through the forest. They were metallic noises, accompanied by the buzz of engines, a sound completely alien to the serenity of the jungle. "Miners," murmured Tiago, the young tribe leader, his face hardening with concern. Laura looked at him, feeling the tension in the air. "What does that mean?" "Illegal miners," Tiago replied. "They destroy the forest in search of gold, pollute the rivers, and bring diseases. We must stop them before they reach our village." Tiago quickly gathered the tribe's warriors, preparing to defend their home. Laura, sensing the gravity of the situation, offered her help. "I can treat the wounded," she said determinedly, "and help in any other way needed." Tiago nodded. "Your help will be invaluable. Take care of the children and the elderly. We will protect the village." The warriors silently headed into the forest, while Laura set up an improvised medical post in the center of the village. The women and children were instructed to shelter in safe places. The confrontation was brutal and swift. The miners, armed with machetes and pistols, advanced through the forest, cutting down trees and digging the soil in search of riches. Tiago and his warriors, using their knowledge of the jungle, attacked with precision, trying to minimize violence but determined to protect their land. Laura remained at the medical post, treating the wounded as they arrived. The fear in her eyes was evident, but her determination was stronger. Children cried, and women prayed while Laura worked tirelessly, using both traditional remedies and her Western medical training. Amid the chaos, a cry of pain caught Laura's attention. Tiago had been injured, a superficial bullet wound to his shoulder. Without hesitation, Laura ran to the battlefield, her heart pounding wildly. "Tiago!" she shouted, reaching him and beginning to treat his wound in the midst of the confrontation. "You shouldn't be here," murmured Tiago, trying to smile despite the pain. "It's dangerous." "I won't leave you," Laura replied, her eyes locked on his. "We're a team." As Laura cared for Tiago, the tribe's warriors, inspired by her courage, redoubled their efforts. They managed to repel the miners, who, frightened by the fierce resistance, retreated into the forest. When the battle ended, the village was silent but tense. Tiago, still injured, was taken back to the medical post. Laura cleaned and bandaged the wound, her movements precise and careful. "You saved my life," Tiago said, holding Laura's hand. "And you saved the village," she replied, looking deeply into his eyes. "We're in this together." The moment of vulnerability created an intense connection between them. Without words, Tiago pulled Laura closer, their lips meeting in a kiss full of passion and desperation, sealing a love that both knew was forbidden but inevitable. In the following days, the village began to recover from the attack. The villagers looked at Laura with newfound respect, recognizing her courage and dedication. She had proven herself not only as a doctor but as an indispensable ally. Tiago, now with his arm bandaged, called a tribal meeting. Laura risked her life to help us, he said. She is one of us. We must protect her as she protected us. The villagers agreed, greeting Laura with smiles and words of gratitude. She felt welcomed in a way she had never experienced before, and her love for Tiago and the tribe only grew. Despite the victory, everyone knew the miners could return, more determined than ever. Tiago and Laura began planning new strategies to protect the village, combining the tribe's traditional knowledge with Laura's medical and strategic skills. "We're in this together," Tiago said, holding Laura's hand as they looked out at the forest. "We'll protect our home and our people, no matter the cost." Laura nodded, feeling stronger and more determined with Tiago by her side. Yes, together. Always. Thus, the external threat had further united Laura and Tiago, not only in their love but in their mission to protect the tribe and the forest. Their journey was just beginning, and they were ready to face any challenge that came their way, together. The price of choice. The soft dawn light filtered through the treetops, casting a golden glow over the village. Laura Turner, the young American doctor, woke up with a heavy heart. She knew that today would be crucial for her life and the tribe she had come to love. Sitting at the edge of her simple bed, she contemplated the letter from her hospital in the United States, a reminder of her previous life and the opportunities that still awaited her. Tiago, the young warrior of the tribe, was outside, preparing for his daily tasks. His eyes met Laura's, and he sensed the internal struggle she was facing. Approaching her, he asked with concern, "What are you going to do, Laura? You really need to decide soon." Laura sighed, her heart torn between duty and love. "I don't know, Tiago. Going back to the United States means continuing my career and helping many people, but staying here, I feel like my presence can make a real difference for your tribe." Akira, the tribe's spiritual leader, sat with Laura in the shade of a large sacred tree. His serene face and wise eyes reflected the wisdom accumulated over the years. He knew Laura was in a dilemma and that her decision would affect not only her own life but also the life of the tribe. "Laura, you have brought hope and healing to our tribe," said Akira, his voice gentle and full of compassion. "But you must understand that challenging our traditions can bring consequences. Some tribe members are already suspicious of your presence and the changes you have brought." Laura looked at Akira, feeling the weight of his words. "I don't want to cause problems, Akira. I want to help. But how can I choose between my duty and my heart?" "That is a choice only you can make," Akira replied. "Remember, true strength comes from understanding and respecting both your own path and the path of others. Choosing to stay will mean facing challenges and resistance, but it could also mean finding a new purpose." Tiago approached Laura again, this time with a determined expression. "Laura, you know how much you mean to me and the tribe. But I also know how important your career is to you. I don't want you to sacrifice your dreams for us." Laura held Tiago's hand, her eyes full of emotion. "Tiago, being here has made me realize how much I can contribute in ways I never imagined. But I also know that my presence can cause problems." Tiago sighed, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "I feel that pressure too. As the chief's son, my duty is to protect our tribe and our traditions. But my heart is divided. I want to fight by your side, Laura, but I also need to fulfill my duties." After a whole day of contemplation and conversations with the tribe members, Laura made her decision. During a meeting around the central fire, she stood up and spoke with a firm yet emotional voice. "I have decided to stay," declared Laura, looking at Tiago and then at Akira. "I want to help the tribe thrive and find a balance between our cultures. I know there will be challenges, but I am willing to face them." Akira nodded slowly, respecting Laura's courage. "Your decision is brave, Laura. We will stand by your side, but remember, you must respect our traditions and work with the community to find a common path." Tiago, his eyes shining with gratitude and love, held Laura's hand. "We will face these challenges together. From now on, we are partners not only in love but in the fight for our tribe." With the decision made, Laura and Tiago began working together to strengthen the tribe. Laura used her medical knowledge to teach hygiene techniques and preventive care, while Tiago led efforts to protect the tribe from external threats, including the illegal loggers encroaching more and more on the tribe's territory. The community, though initially divided, began to see the benefits of the changes proposed by Laura. However, resistance from some more conservative members continued to be a constant challenge. On the night following Laura's decision, the tribe was attacked by illegal loggers. The situation was critical, and Tiago, along with the tribe's warriors, fought bravely to defend their home. Laura, despite the danger, ran to treat the wounded, showing her dedication and courage. During the battle, Tiago was gravely injured. Laura rushed to his side, her determination renewed. "I will not let you die, Tiago. You are the reason I am here." With the knowledge she had acquired, Laura treated Tiago's wounds, saving his life. Laura's act of bravery and dedication began to earn the respect even of the tribe's most skeptical members. With the battle won and the wounded treated, the tribe gathered to thank Laura and Tiago. Akira, the spiritual leader, blessed Laura and Tiago's union, recognizing the love and strength they brought to the community. "You have shown that the union between different cultures can bring strength and hope," said Akira. "Laura, your choice to stay here despite the dangers is a sign of true courage. Tiago, your loyalty to the tribe and to Laura inspires us all." Laura and Tiago, now more united than ever, continued to work together to strengthen the tribe. They faced new challenges, but always with the certainty that they were doing what was right. Laura, aware of the difficulties they would still face, looked at Tiago with a determined smile. "We are just beginning, Tiago. But I know that together, we can overcome any obstacle." Tiago held Laura's hand, his eyes full of love and determination. "Yes, Laura. Together, we can do anything." And so Laura and Tiago, united by love and mission, faced the challenges of protecting the tribe and its traditions while building a better future for everyone. Laura's choice, though difficult, brought new hope and strength to the community, showing that sometimes the true path lies in following the heart and fighting for what you believe in. With this decision, Laura proved her commitment to the tribe and her love for Tiago, facing the challenges with courage and determination. Together, they prepared for a future full of hope and possibilities, protecting the Amazon and its precious cultural traditions. The sacrifice. The tranquility of the village was shattered by the return of the miners, who were now more violent and determined to drive the tribe from their land. Laura and Tiago, along with the villagers and the medical team, had done everything in their power to protect the village, but they knew the threat was far from over. "We need to be prepared for the worst," said Tiago, his voice firm as he spoke with Laura and the village leaders. "The miners will come back, and this time, they won't stop until they get what they want." Laura nodded, her face showing the determination she felt. "We can't let them destroy what you have here. We'll fight with everything we've got." That night, while patrolling the area around the village, Tiago and some warriors were ambushed by the miners. The confrontation was swift and brutal. Despite the villagers' fierce resistance, Tiago was captured, and the miners threatened to destroy the village if they didn't surrender their land. When Laura learned of Tiago's capture, she felt a despair she had never felt before. "We can't let them take Tiago," she said, her voice trembling. "We need to do something, and fast." Laura gathered the villagers and the medical team, forming a plan to rescue Tiago. "We need to use strategy and courage," she said. "They have weapons, but we have the knowledge of the jungle and the determination to protect our home." The villagers, led by an experienced warrior named Aroni, began preparing traps and strategies to ambush the miners. The medical team prepared supplies and first aid for any eventuality. The rescue operation began at dawn. Laura, Aroni, and a group of warriors moved silently through the forest, using their knowledge of secret trails. As they approached the miners' camp, they observed carefully, waiting for the right moment to strike. "Now," whispered Aroni, and the group launched their surprise attack. The jungle filled with shouts and sounds of combat. The miners were caught off guard and, despite their advantage in weapons, could not withstand the villagers' determination. Laura ran to where Tiago was tied up, fighting off two miners along the way. With a desperate effort, she knocked them down and cut the ropes binding Tiago. "Come on, we need to get out of here," she said, pulling him to his feet. As they fled, one of the miners shot Laura, hitting her in the shoulder. She fell to the ground, screaming in pain. Tiago, desperate, went back to help her. "Laura, hold on," he said, picking her up in his arms. The villagers and the medical team, realizing the situation, created a barrier around Tiago and Laura, driving off the remaining miners. "Let's go, we have to get her back to the village," said Arani, helping Tiago carry Laura. Back in the village, Laura was taken to the healer's hut, where the tribe used their traditional knowledge to treat her. Medicinal herbs were applied to the wound, and healing rituals were performed to help her regain her strength. Tiago never left Laura's side, holding her hand and whispering words of encouragement. "You're going to be okay," he said, tears in his eyes. "They know what they're doing. Trust them." Laura's recovery was slow but steady. Over time, the wound began to heal and her strength returned. The village, recognizing Laura's sacrifice, treated her as a heroine. With the miners driven away and the village safe, Laura and Tiago finally had a moment of peace. "You risked everything for me," said Tiago, holding Laura's hand. "And you would do the same for me," Laura replied, smiling. "We are stronger together. This village is our home now, and we'll do everything to protect it." Tiago kissed Laura's forehead, feeling a deep gratitude for having her in his life. "Let's build a future here, together with our family and friends." The courage and sacrifice of Laura and Tiago not only saved the village but also strengthened the bonds between the villagers and the medical team. Together, they continued to protect the forest and the culture they loved, knowing that unity was the key to overcoming any challenge. Laura, healed and stronger than ever, decided to dedicate her life to the protection of the Amazon and the well-being of the people who lived there. Alongside Tiago, she found a greater purpose, proving that love and courage can transform lives and protect what is truly sacred. And so, the story of Laura and Tiago became a legend in the Amazon jungle, a testament to sacrifice, love, and determination in protecting the beauty and wisdom of the forest for future generations. The Renaissance and Union. After the tumultuous events that nearly led to Laura's death, she was now recovering under the attentive care of Tiago and the tribe. The hut where she rested was surrounded by a tranquility that contrasted with the recent turmoil. Birds sang softly, and the sound of the nearby river provided a serene backdrop for her convalescence. Laura spent the first days of her recovery in a state of deep reflection. Each morning, as the sun began to penetrate the dense canopy of the trees, she sat by the river, contemplating her journey. The events that led her there, her decision to work in the Amazon, meeting Tiago, and the challenges they faced together, all seemed to converge on that moment. She pondered the impact of her choices not only on her own life, but also on the tribe that had taken her in. The relationship with Tiago, while beautiful and transformative, also brought complications. The tribe was divided between those who saw their union as a threat to tradition, and those who believed that integrating new knowledge could strengthen the community. Tiago, always by her side, shared these concerns. "We are changing things, Laura. This is good, but it's also frightening for many here," he said, holding her hand. "I know," Laura replied with a determined look. "But I believe we can find a balance. We can unite our worlds in a way that benefits everyone." Akira, the tribe's shaman and Tiago's mentor, proposed a healing ritual that would symbolize Laura's rebirth. The ritual would be a fusion of indigenous traditions with the modern medical knowledge Laura brought with her. This ceremony would serve not only to heal Laura physically but also to symbolically unify the cultures. On the night of the ritual, the tribe gathered around a large bonfire. Akira, dressed in ceremonial attire adorned with feathers and tribal paintings, began to chant ancestral songs. Laura, lying on a hand-woven mat, felt the energy of the ceremony flow through her body. Tiago, beside Akira, mixed medicinal herbs with the medications Laura had brought. "These herbs have been used for generations to heal and strengthen," Tiago explained. "Combined with your knowledge, we can create something powerful." Akira applied the mixture to Laura's wounds while continuing to chant. The air was charged with spirituality and hope. The tribe members watched in silence, some with skepticism, others with expectation. At the end of the ritual, Laura felt a profound renewal. It was not just physical healing, but a spiritual transformation. She stood up with Tiago's help, feeling more connected to the tribe and her own purpose than ever before. Akira raised his hands towards the sky, concluding the ritual. Today, we witnessed Laura's rebirth. She is now a bridge between our worlds, proof that we can learn from each other and grow together. The tribe erupted in applause and celebratory chants. Laura and Tiago embraced, emotional and relieved. With the tribe's acceptance, Laura and Tiago decided to formalize their union. The wedding ceremony would be a celebration of the cultures that united them, a symbol of mutual respect and love. Preparations were made in the following days. The women of the tribe helped Laura craft a wedding dress using traditional fabrics and modern embellishments. The men, led by Tiago, prepared the ceremony site by the river, decorating it with flowers and leaves. "This will be a new beginning for all of us," said Tiago, working alongside Laura. "Our wedding will show the tribe that we can honor our traditions while embracing the new." On the day of the ceremony, the tribe gathered around the decorated altar. Laura was stunning in her dress, a perfect fusion of their two cultures. Tiago, dressed in ceremonial attire, awaited her with a radiant smile. Akira officiated the ceremony, beginning with a traditional blessing. "Today, we celebrate not only the union of Laura and Tiago, but also the union of our cultures. May this marriage be an example of love and respect." Laura and Tiago exchanged heartfelt vows, promising to protect and love each other and their respective cultures. "I love you, Tiago, and I promise to honor our union and the wisdom of our ancestors," said Laura, with tears of happiness in her eyes. "I love you, Laura, and I promise to respect and learn from you every day of our lives," Tiago replied, holding her hands firmly. After the exchange of rings, the tribe celebrated with music, dance, and a feast that combined traditional and modern dishes. The atmosphere was filled with joy and hope. Laura and Tiago, now married, began working together on projects that integrated modern medical knowledge with the tribe's traditional practices. They created education and health programs that benefited the entire community. "We are building a better future together," said Laura, looking at Tiago with love and admiration. "Our love and respect are the foundation of everything." Tiago smiled, embracing her. "And this is just the beginning of our journey." The union of Laura and Tiago symbolized a new beginning not only for them but for the entire tribe. They showed that collaboration and mutual respect could lead to a prosperous and harmonious future. Laura Turner and Tiago not only found love in each other but also a greater purpose that united them even more deeply. They showed that, with mutual respect and collaboration, it is possible to build a future where ancient traditions and modern knowledge coexist in harmony. Their story, now a legend, continued to inspire generations, reminding everyone that true progress comes from the union of hearts and minds for the greater good. Laura found not only a new home but also a new mission in life, alongside the man she loves and the people she now considers her family.